Welcome, everyone, to the Friday Night Jack Sesh. My loss is your gain. If you're with us over on Patreon, an extremely funny thing just happened. Ruben, lover of the show, fan of the show, saves the day. Dan Register gets my love out to him as well. And I'm going to kick it over to your host, the namesake of this show, Jack, Mr. Mandeville.
Giorgio, I'm, okay.
Is that too quick? Is that too quick? I can bring it back. I can talk about what you're wearing.
You know, I'm
Jack
not a
Mandeville.
good multitasker. I'm putting the link on my Instagram right now so people know where to find the show.
That's okay. They got a little peek of what you're looking like. You're looking some Goodwill Hunting action. Like you should be giving Matt Damon some life lessons. I don't know what part of Boulder, Colorado you got that jacket from, but I really enjoy it. I don't know if you robbed a Native American woman in New Mexico, but it looks great.
Yeah, I thought I was going. Now we got calls coming in right after. I wanted to recap Thanksgiving with you, Giorgio.
Maybe in between this next caller.
We gotta make it quick because I want to hear about Giorgio's Thanksgiving. But before I hear about Giorgio's Thanksgiving, I'd like to hear about your Thanksgiving. Also, what is your name? What is your age? What is your social security number?
Whoa, there's a lot of intel going on real quick.
Okay, all right. We can pull it back a little. How about we'll just start with name? To whom are we speaking at?
What up, Jack? It's Chris, my man.
Chris. Where are you calling in from, Chris?
Man, still down in the Moyock, brother, down in North Carolina.
Doing that North Carolina action. I love that state. Lived there for 4 years. Didn't really get out a lot, but I still love it. I still love it a lot.
Outer Banks is a good side, yeah.
So what are you doing tonight, man? What are you doing? Why are you listening to me on your Friday night?
Man, I always listen to you, bro. You and Papa G, man, get the Roman kicked in. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I like hearing. You might, if Papa G's going to be sacrificing his personal time with us on Fridays, we might as well enjoy our time with him.
And you damn sure know him on that Roman right now.
Yes, he is. Hey, Chris, how was your Thanksgiving, man? We didn't do a show last week because I actually happened to be, I did my Thanksgiving in Austin with my dearest, bestest, oldest friend. He lives in Austin now, so I have one person in my life socially that's not work-related in the area, which I'm very grateful for. So I did Thanksgiving with him, and then I texted Giorgio the next day. I said, what time you want to do the show today? And he said, we got Thanksgiving off. So I rushed back down to San Antonio and napped all day. How was your Thanksgiving, Chris?
Man, not as exciting as that, but damn, we smoked a turkey for the first time.
Nice.
Pound turkey.
And did you have what was the sitch? Were you with your parents, siblings, just you and the wife, you and the wife's family?
Wife, kids, and family down the street. Little local thing, nothing too big.
It's such a Southern thing for like people who are related to each other to live in the same neighborhood as each other.
It's like incest.
Well, no, I'd say it neighbor-cest is what it is. It's neighbor-cest.
There we go. That sounds more.
I'm so fucking white that my family always lives at least one town over. That's like northern whiteness. That's typically how that works. But I know a lot of Southerners of all ethnicities who it's just a thing down in the South. A lot of families live in the same neighborhood together.
Yeah, all my family's down in Florida.
Okay.
So like driving.
So this is your wife's family that lives in the neighborhood?
Nah, just local military people. We try and keep together. This is Coast Guard family.
Military work family.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can have sex with them if you want.
Oh, yeah. You know how that works.
Yeah, you could have sex with your actual family, especially with Florida and all that. But, but that's between you and your wife. I'm not going to get into that too much.
Yeah, if it's for medical reasons, it's like whatever. Nobody cares. Like, he's going ass to mouth. He's just doing breathing exercises.
Yeah, it's training.
I heard that's good for your immune system.
It clears the lungs. Inhale, exhale, right through the beehole.
Right. Everything good comes through there. Yeah, it just gets you used to everything. You don't get sick if you eat enough ass.
You don't. That's why you got an immune system.
That's right. That's why I've never had COVID. I don't eat ass, actually. It's just because I get fecal matter on my hands, and I don't wash my hands, and then I go eat a sandwich.
That's like our sewage guys overseas, man. That's funny.
I often eat a sandwich on the toilet, so I understand, Jack.
Yeah, Giorgio, that's how Giorgio builds up his immune system. That's Giorgio, I'm so excited. Chris, have you heard that Giorgio's fighting Dakota Meyer?
Dude, I'm pulling for Papa G since the day when we met, man. The dude is, I'm behind him.
Now, I've known Dakota much longer than I've known Giorgio, but
Giorgio's a fighter, man.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's like it's not about, and it's not that I have any more loyalty to anybody. I'm just looking at resume, and Giorgio has cauliflower ear. I think that right there is a good indicator he's at an advantage.
That's the first sign.
That's the first sign that Giorgio has an advantage in this thing.
Hey, Dakota's got some medals, okay? He's got some medals of honor.
He might hit you with
well, Dakota knows how to use a gun.
Duck and weave from the metal. He might throw it at you.
Yeah.
He got soft, man. He's not core no more, man. He's got soft.
Yeah, that's right. He sits around that firehouse all day doing bench press and eating chili. That's not exactly the workout routine you need to get into a fucking fight with a guy with cauliflower ear.
You can't get no gains putting puzzles together, goddammit.
Some mental gains. He's solving the puzzle right now. Also, if you guys don't support Dakota, it's anti-America. I'm funded by the Palin Foundation.
I support Dakota as a person, not as a fighter. I think you're going to win the fight.
Guys, I'm trying to keep these odds good. I'm trying to keep things.
This is about gambling here. I didn't know this was about pride. Are you getting paid for this, Giorgio?
No.
Now, Giorgio, are you allowed to talk? Chris, I got big questions for Giorgio.
We got answers. We need answers, damn it.
Now, Giorgio, are you willing to talk openly about what your overall strategy is? What we talked about in the break room?
Completely.
Okay, I want to tell everyone what your overall strategy with Dakota is.
I'm gonna get the man really tired. I'm gonna.
But your business strategy.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I can't reveal that yet.
Okay,
I can't reveal that. That's the master plan. That's the master plan.
Talk about your training strategy or your fight strategy then.
The fight strategy is I need to get a lot of eyeballs on this fight. I think it would be a good kind of new studio opening party. I think it would get some attention. And then I think I'm going to make light work of Dakota and then move on to the next military influencer who can go in and get some. Actually, I'll tell you who's next. Matt's next. It's Dakota, then Matt.
Matt who?
Senor Best.
Oh, okay. Now, so are you going after war heroes specifically? Do you want to fuck war heroes up, or you just want to do one war hero, one internet guy, one motivational speaker? What other kind of brand of veteran? Like there's ex-fighter veterans like Tim Kennedy. What other kind of veterans are there? There's like veterans who are like, businessmen. Well, Matt would fall into that category.
9/11 survivors.
Yeah, you could do 9/11 survivors. There's got to be a couple of those influencers out there. Are 9/11 influencers a thing? They got veteran influencers. They got workout influencers. They got body positive, big people influencers. They got what other? There's an influencer for every type of thing in life. Do they have 9/11 survivor influencers?
I think they have 9/11 experts, but I don't know if they have influencers. I guess there are people who are like conspiracy theory influencers who specialize in 9/11.
No, I'm not talking about that. And I'm
pretty sure they're all Navy SEALs.
I'm talking, yeah, exactly. Well, okay, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Chris, I appreciate it. Chris, do you got any questions about Giorgio's fight?
Nah, we're good, man. We'll just hit him up through the Instagram. Every once in a while, there's some dumb shit in there.
I want to say
keep the hope alive.
I appreciate the memes that you all send me. They get me through the day, and I enjoy them very much.
Thank you, Chris. I gotta be super clear here. I love Dakota. I don't want to watch him lose. I just expect him to lose. It's not that I want that to happen. And Giorgio, it's not like I have any more loyalty to either of you. I'm just looking at, on paper, you have cauliflower ear. And, that's a good indicator you have a huge advantage going into this. And is he doing a specific fight training, or is he just doing CrossFit? Because CrossFit's not going to get you ready for a fight.
I don't know what's going to get him ready for the fight, but what's going to get you ready? What's going to get you ready for this next caller?
Oh, is it someone that I know, cherish, and love?
I don't think so, Jack.
But
first-time caller.
Oh, well, then, you're my favorite kind of caller in the sense that I get to make a new friend. And I love making new friends. What's your name? Where are you from? What do you do for a living?
My name's Emmett. I'm from Connecticut, and I put in stoves and inserts and fireplaces and all that kind of shit.
You're a home installer.
I'm a home and hearth technician.
That's cool. Do you work for a specific company?
I do, but I don't want to say.
That's smart. That's smart. This is being broadcast to like 70 people right now. Your boss could be one of them. Now, Emmett, I like you already. You got a good name. You're named after one of the greatest running backs in NFL history. It would mean more if the running back position was still relevant. That's a dead position at this point, but go on.
Name spelled one letter different, but I appreciate the compliment, Jack.
Okay, are you like Emmett? Is it spelled like Emmett Till? Because that's a much sadder story than the running back Emmett.
Yeah, it is spelled like Emmett Till, but the worst part is my last name is White.
Okay. Oh, I have nothing quippy to say about that. That's not the word. That's not worse. There's nothing. It's a common name in this country and in Canada.
Yeah. For an Irish guy, yeah.
Yeah. Emmett White. Yeah, it sounds like an old-timey cop, before cops even carried guns. They're just swinging the bobby stick around. Officer Emmett White. You sound like Elliot Ness could have been recruiting you.
Ooh, I think that's the biggest compliment I've ever gotten.
Well, so Emmett, why are you calling in, man? Now, do you listen to the Friday Night Jack session on the reg, or are you like a main Drinking Bros guy? You just happen to be tuning in right now.
Unfortunately, to say the latter. I need to get on the Patreon and follow you because your belly drawings make Picasso look amateur.
Do you want to know the story behind this one?
I would love to.
So the last time I got a tattoo was in 2005. I had just gotten back from Operation Iraqi Freedom, serving my country in a war that nothing really happened with it in the big picture. Anyways, so I haven't got a tattoo in 15, 16 years. And recently I got 2 tattoos on my leg. And, I wanted it to be something that really, really meant something to me. My favorite writer on earth, and he's been a huge inspiration to me, his brand of pessimism and satire is Kurt Vonnegut. And one of my favorite... my favorite Kurt Vonnegut novel is Breakfast of Champions, and I think it's like page 5 or 6. He does a doodle of a butthole in Breakfast of Champions. So I got his butthole doodle on my left leg, and from Slaughterhouse-Five, I got the saying "So it goes," which kind of means like that's life, And I'm not a deep guy, but Vonnegut's always been an important part of my life, and his work has inspired me professionally. And so I got a couple Vonnegut tattoos on me. And right now, this is a Vonnegut butthole.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You want to hear? I only have. Sorry to keep going, but I only have 2 tattoos, both of which were gotten on different continents.
Okay, let's tell the story, man. We got a lot of time to kill, and I am not on my A game today, so you got to carry my show for me. But I still get the paycheck.
All right. So in high school, last name's White, so I went on a foreign trip because it fits, and I got a tattoo in Spain of bullhorns in Barcelona.
Oh, that's cool. That's a big deal over there. They love their bullfighting. That's one of the last places on earth where it's still a thing. They love it over there.
I agree. So I got that, and then a few years later, I went to New Zealand, and
the complete opposite of Spain.
Exactly. So went there, did a NOLS trip, National Outdoor Leadership School. 3 months out in the bush, sleeping in a tent. Fucking sucked. Smelled like shit.
Is this like a Boy Scouts of America thing?
No, it's like live in the woods for 3 months, learn about random outdoor shit, and get college credits.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And you get to go you get to go to the Middle Earth there and hang. Exactly. You get to live in Middle Earth.
Yeah, I saw some Hobbit shit.
Is it like regular people shit but smaller?
Yeah.
And they don't wear shoes.
Oh.
Like table heights are like 2.5 feet. It's really uncomfortable.
So let's hear about the second tattoo. I want to hear about your Middle Earth tattoo.
Up, Jack. So the second tattoo, I was driving around the southern island, got fucked up one night, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to a tattoo shop. Walked in, I said, give me a whole thigh piece. It's all Maori and shit. Super badass.
Did a little cultural appropriation. Fun.
Hey, I'm American. It's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do. We like to borrow is a very polite way of putting it.
It's a melting pot.
But you don't see a lot of Americans, and there's probably, I would imagine there's some sort of Maori population in the country. I know we have sizable Samoan populations, especially on the West Coast and Hawaii. But, you don't see a lot of Maori stuff over here because, obviously our indigenous culture here is the American indigenous culture. So you don't see a lot of the, Pacific stuff like that, unless, again, we do have a good, decent-sized Samoan population, and I've met quite a few Chamorros in this country. Well, they're Americans. Yeah.
Well, Jack, that is to believe that there weren't civilizations before us who were advanced, who had died out from one thing or another.
Oh. Giorgio, your voice is beautiful.
Giorgio's high. That was fucking way too deep for me. I'm too sober for that kind of highness.
Wait, Giorgio, quick question before you guys cut me off. What weight class did you wrestle at Mizzou?
157 pounds.
Oh, that's a decent size.
Yeah.
Right?
None. I mean, you tell me.
I don't know. Now, are you and Dakota going to have to cut weight for this, or are you going to try to get within a certain close weight, or you get to show up as is?
I'm hiring Dan Register as my strength and conditioning coach.
So you're going to be gaining weight.
Hey, guys, sorry to interrupt. I got to leave.
I love you, man. Hey, thanks for being a good first-time caller. I'll shoot Jesse a text after this, see if there's anything, maybe the Rodman jersey or the Rose jersey we can just send you without Ross's permission. So, hey, wait,
yeah, what's up?
Is Dakota losing weight and you're gaining weight for this? Is there going to be a weight class for this competition?
I'm assuming I would like it to be 185. I'm assuming it's probably going to be 205.
What are you at right now?
Oh God, I don't even know. Probably 170.
Can you put on 15 pounds?
Yeah, I haven't been lifting weights.
What do you think Dakota's at? 210?
225.
Well, he can't lose fucking 30 pounds for a fight. 40 pounds.
I mean, I'm hoping he gets to. He could take a poop and be 210. And then
I saw pictures of Dakota when he was before he became an ex-Marine and he was a regular Marine. I saw pictures of Dakota, and he was a skinny boy. So I know he has it in him to lose some weight.
And honestly, we may just do open weight. We may just do whatever we could do, no weight class. He's probably going to want to wear the gi. I'm going to refuse to wear the gi. I'm going to be shirtless and in spandex.
Where's the advantage in that? When you have the advantage, you have something to grab onto?
There are different chokes you can do with the gi. Just people who are comfortable with it and have practiced it. There are a lot of levers and throws.
Yeah.
It's its own kind of art form. Where no gi jiu-jitsu is so much closer to wrestling.
How about he wears a Mint Mobile shirt and you wear a Ghost Bed shirt?
I'll wear Ghost Bed spandex. We'll write Ghost Bed all over the mat, but I want to be shirtless because I don't want him to be. I want to be able to slip out of stuff.
Okay.
I want to be all oily. And then I want him to squeeze and try to hold me really hard. And then I want his muscles to get really tired because he has these big, strong muscles. And if he keeps trying to hold on to me and I keep slipping out and he keeps going really hard, he's going to get frustrated.
Is he a cardio guy? I know he does all the CrossFit stuff.
He came in today and on APP, he said his advantages were endurance and strength.
Look, I know Dakota hangs out with Tim Kennedy. I know he's got some fighter friends, but hey, I have people who are successful businessmen, and I'm fucking completely fucking drop dead stupid when it comes to business. So I don't know, just because he hangs out with fighters, I don't know if that's going to have some advantage for him.
He trains jiu-jitsu at the Gracie Academy. And there are pictures on the Instagram of Dakota previously training jiu-jitsu. And like any good jiu-jitsu artist, it's about escaping the hold and getting back to a position you love. And that position for me is talking to these sweet, sweet callers. How are you doing today?
And caller, I want to stay for the record, caller. I don't. The person I'm rooting for in this match is whoever wins. I only root for winners. Hey, so caller, what's your name? Who are you? Do I know you already, or are you new to this program?
You know me already, Jack. It is Dustin the Farrier from Pennsylvania.
Dust. Oh, them PA boys. How was your Thanksgiving, Dust?
It was good. Had a lot of family in and ate a lot, drank a lot. It was a good old time.
That's good to hear. Did watch some football. What time did you get to bed?
Oh God, I don't know, 2:00.
I was gonna say, probably. Are you a party family on Thanksgiving, or everyone fucking passes out by 9 family on Thanksgiving?
Half passes out, half are partiers, especially my grandmother. She's a super partier.
That's what I like to hear. My great aunt Wilma, who lived to be 98 years old, that woman's secret to life, and she said this, is she had a cigarette and a cocktail every day.
I'm pretty sure that's how you and I are going to survive, Jack.
I mean, look, dude, I'm a functioning alcoholic, and I smoke way too many cigarettes. And the worst part is I'll probably be the guy that lives to be 90 years old, while guys like Dakota, who lift weights and eat healthy and train jiu-jitsu, Dakota will probably have a heart attack at 60. Calling it now.
He's going to need his own fire department to come and save him.
That's right. Well, I have a friend that's a nurse, and I asked her recently, like, what happens if you have an on-the-job injury, like at work, if you're a nurse, and our system is so insane that she would have to walk out to the lobby and do the paperwork in the lobby before she could go back in and get helped.
Oh my God. The system's so messed up.
Yeah, we do everything a little too complicated in this country. Like, you talk to a lot of Europeans. You talk to people from Scandinavian countries, Britain. I don't know about other parts of Europe, but like in Northern Europe, most Europeans, their tax forms are a page or two long at best. Like they only like their taxes take 30 seconds to do, and ours becomes such an ordeal that we have to hire people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the worst. So, Jack, I have a couple questions.
I'm ready.
First off, how was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was great. My BFF, Sean, won't say his last name because he does important work for our country. But he's my only friend I have in town now that's not work-related. Not that I don't love my work-related friends. We share common interests, and I always have a good time with them. But it's nice to have a friendship that, he doesn't give a shit what I do for a living. I don't give a shit what he does for a living. We've been boys since we were 10 years old, and we got that bond. So I spent it with him and his wife and her parents, and it was very nice. It was his first Thanksgiving here in Central Texas, and I was glad to have him as my neighbor.
Well, that's good. It's good to hear. Second question, Jack, can we know any details of the role you will be playing in this new, maybe indie film situation you're doing?
I got 2 on the docket. Which are you talking about? The one I'm filming next week, or the one that I'll be filming this spring?
I think next week, the porn producer one.
Yeah. Oh God, have I talked about this? Yeah. So I'm growing my hair out. I've been doing it for months. Next Sunday, I will be flying into Seattle, and Monday through Thursday, I will be working. I think I have about 12 pages. Which is, for a movie, that's actually a good chunk of airtime. I'm playing a not producer, I'm playing a porn store manager. Porn producers at least make money. Porn store managers are guys like, oh, wow, you didn't really have any other options, but hopefully you're making enough to afford a mortgage. No, my character is... well, he's the kind of character I get cast for traditionally. He's kind of a loser, kind of an idiot. He's a dope. And, he hits on one of the girls that works there and gets rejected constantly. So the film, I'm not going to give too many details, but the film the working title is called Customer Comes First. And yeah. And I haven't met my other cast member. I have scenes with quite a few people, actually, but the only person I've ever talked to is the DP, because he's the one that recommended me for the role. And I've talked to the director quite a bit. But I actually haven't talked to any of the people I'll be working with, which will be fun. Typically in the past, when I've done shows with Vet TV and when, movies we've done, we've had a lot of read-throughs. I've had time to get to know my fellow cast members, and but this is one of those things where I'm just going to have to walk in and do my job and get to know them in the moment.
Well, I'm sure you'll do fantastic. Also, the conversation about the porn store manager just needed you to add that little bit of saying DP in it.
The what?
You said DP, and we're talking about a porn store manager.
Right. Let me clarify. In the film industry, a DP is a director of photography. It's actually... not even arguably, it is the top 3 most important jobs on any film set. Way more important than the fucking actors. A DP is they have a very distinct style and they can make or break a movie. Like this Alec Baldwin movie where
Jack, a DP can make or break a relationship.
That's right. Giorgio coming in good right now. No, like the young lady that was unfortunately shot on that on the Alec Baldwin movie, the Rust set. I mean, they could, but they can't really fucking. They would have to start from scratch because a lot of DPs, they have such distinct styles that they may not be able to replicate her style. The movie would fucking look weird bringing in somebody new. So a director of photography is very important. They make a huge impact on the artistic look of any. Now with comedies, it can be a little more cut and dry, but when you look at classic movies, when you're looking at a beautiful part of a movie or even just the way certain fucking scenes with dialogue are shot, that's the DP's brilliance right there. And they're really heading that up. That's not necessarily the director.
Jack, would you say they direct the photography?
Yes, they literally do. That's their literal job. I gave a huge explanation for what literally is the director of photography. But it is. I can't stress this enough when it is the top 3 most important jobs on any film set.
They make the pretty pictures.
Yeah. Sometimes a DP is way more talented than the director, much of the time.
Or someone who can take a DP.
That's right. That would be in a porn film, which I'm not doing. I'm doing a movie about a porn store, okay? Just to clarify.
It's meta.
It's meta.
But wait.
There's actually no nudity in this movie.
Would there need to be a director of photography, a DP, for a movie that includes a DP? Giorgio, do you want to add into that?
Yes, there's camera people for porn movies. So yeah, there's a DP filming a DP in a porn.
Is that a DP or is that more of a director camera operator situation?
Well, look, I think anyone behind anyone behind camera one would like to fancy themselves, a director of photography. But yes, there are different levels of talent. And I would imagine if you're shooting porn, you're not exactly at the Ang Lee level.
Do you consider them a filmmaker?
Well, you know what? When you look at the way that they did porn movies back in the 70s, and Boogie Nights was actually a lot of the movie. A lot of the basis of the movie was centered around the evolution of the porn industry, going from there was some sort of artistic element to pornography in the early 70s, and when they called that the golden era, when the porn industry kind of really boomed, and then going into the 80s where it became a VHS, it became quantity over quality, and it showed how the camera became less and less important, essentially. So I think for modern porn, no, camera work is just some dude fucking holding a camera over his dick while he's getting sucked off, right? There's nothing fancy about it. But there was a time where people put a lot of thought into the artistic elements of film when they were filming people fucking.
Slowly tilting up the leg to reveal the woman.
Yeah, no, there was a whole, it was important. And so I think historically, back in the day, there were a lot of people that did work in the porn industry that were cameras that considered themselves artists. That would be harder to find these days because, again, it's about quantity over quality.
So then, Giorgio, in this fight with Dakota, you want to tire him out.
Did we just go from talking about the history of the porn industry back to Giorgio's fight? Because I'm okay with it. I'm definitely okay with it.
I just wanted to ask this question before Giorgio cuts me off. You want to tire him out.
Yeah.
So it's been said on one of the other podcasts, I forget which one, it might have been Drinking Bros, that puzzles may be involved. Do you think you want to get Dakota onto a ghost bed and with a really intricate puzzle towards the end to finish him off? Or
that would be funny, as if we couldn't get water or get food after the match, that we had to complete a puzzle.
Are you doing that Rush? The Russians, they do that weird thing where it's not weird, but it's very Russian, where they'll do a full boxing match and then they'll go straight to a chessboard and do a chess match against each other. It's like a double sport over there. Are you guys planning on doing that?
I've never heard of this. But
I want to watch you and Dakota.
It sounds so Russian.
No, I want to watch you and Dakota do jits for freaking a half hour straight. You guys can barely move, and then you have to go straight to a twister match and do twister against each other.
Ooh, that would be pretty cool. But is that mentally challenging? Like, do we play chess or do we play checkers? Do we play Connect 4?
Connect 4 would be a good one.
Connect 4.
Yeah. Or Candyland.
Okay. Or adult Jenga?
Chutes and
You know what a
Ladders.
good cerebral game is? That's kind of luck, but it's also a lot of strategy and everyone can play it. You guys should play Monopoly.
Ooh. Okay. One-on-one Monopoly from the beginning? Is that known? Is Heads Up Monopoly a thing?
Yeah, we can just live stream the whole thing, right? And it doesn't matter. If it takes 8 hours, it takes 8 hours.
If it takes 3 days, it takes 3 days.
And you know what happens
gotta
if
find out
Dakota
a winner.
loses, right? He's going to be on the front page of TMZ. Is Dakota loses to pothead ex-Division I wrestler at Monopoly.
That would be the greatest. Like if the Onion picked that up or someone,
Yeah.
and it'd just be like a real article.
Yeah. You can't make that up,
So-
but it did happen.
I know there are plenty of other callers that want to get on here, so I'll let you guys go. But Jack, I wanted to let you know, keep your head up, keep your self-esteem up, and make sure you get your smoke break tonight.
I
You deserve
appreciate
it.
this guy. I love him. He's my favorite caller probably ever, and I hate to do that. I hate to rank callers, but he's been very positive towards me and kind.
Super
and
positive.
Really, I've had a rough week, and I could use a little kindness. And honestly, that guy's probably gonna at least in my top 50 best friends at this point.
Okay. I mean, he even like gave you a smoke break.
Yeah, he literally gave me permission to go smoke on my own show, which I'll get paid for. Like the show's in my namesake. It's our show, Giorgio.
Jack, I don't believe in possessions anymore. I have a hippie girlfriend, and we have a new caller.
I love that kind of communism you got going on in your life right now, bro. I appreciate that. And that's right. And when I go over there, just remember, it's not your food, it's our food.
Exactly, Jack.
Caller, to whom are we speaking at? Are you new? Are you old? Do I know you? Do I not know you?
Oh, we've talked a couple of times. It's Ryan from Grand Rapids.
Ryan from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I was just talking about Grand Rapids, I think either earlier today or yesterday. Gerald Ford is from Grand Rapids, and I can't stand, Americans are so fucking dumb and uneducated when it comes to our presidents, and I'm so sick of hearing how handsome young Kennedy was or how handsome young Reagan was. We don't even know our own history when it comes to our presidents, and we can't speak objectively. We only do what's popular, right? Everyone wants to talk about Reagan and Kennedy. Oh, they were so handsome. Have you ever seen pictures of Gerald Ford from Grand Rapids, Michigan, when he was young? That guy
the first time we talked, he kept on talking about how he was one of the prettiest presidents. I was like, okay, I got to see this now.
I can't get it out of my head. He was fucking hot. Anyone listening right now, Google young Gerald Ford or Google Gerald Ford at University of Michigan. That guy was a fucking Adonis. That guy was, he looked like Thor. He was perfectly fucking handsome. He actually was a male model. He graduated from the University of Michigan. He was an All-American center for the biggest football school in the country, then went to World War II, and then came back and was a fucking male model, and then became president of the United States. He's the only president we've ever had that was a fucking professional male model.
You know what's weird? That's like the only thing that's not in his museum here. Is that he was a male model. Like, you see his football stuff at college.
There's no, it was on Life magazine, which at that time was like the biggest magazine in the country.
Yeah, there may be a magazine laying around there, but yeah, they don't cover that for some reason.
That's crazy because, God damn, that guy was handsome. And then, he got older and then,
Well, yeah, that happens to the best of us.
Happens to the best of us.
Everyone thinks that Kennedy is the hot president.
Well, I think they think of Kennedy. He was like 45 when he died, right? So like he went out in a certain prime, and and he was certainly handsome. Nobody doubts that, but he wasn't the hottest by any means.
Well, he was handsome, but he had the personality to go with it. Like, he was the party guy, wasn't he?
He was a charming dude. He came from wealth. He knew how to talk to women. He just knew how to talk to everybody. Yeah, he was a charming guy.
But shit, he nailed Marilyn Monroe. That makes you hotter
and so
immediately.
did his brother Bobby, by the way. Both Kennedy brothers did. Well, there was a few Kennedy brothers, but Bobby and John both did. Yeah.
So did Eddie Redmayne in the movie My Week with Marilyn.
Tony Curtis was in Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe, and he was not a fan of her.
Really?
I think professionally he was not.
Yeah, I think she was hard to work with, rarely on time, often drug-induced or drunk.
And to this day it matters, but especially back then in the film industry, promptness and knowing your lines and being polite on set is, that's called being professional. And she didn't sound like she was too much of a professional.
I feel like that would have carried more weight back then, because nowadays it's just about your name.
Well, but you only get a good name if you're professional, right? There's actors some of them, I guess, you can only get away with.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, Chevy Chase was a nightmare to work with, but I mean, he was still a big name.
But no one's putting him in A-list shit anymore because he was a fucking nightmare.
And I have a theory on Chevy Chase. I think he was in extreme back pain most of his life and had a hard time accepting that he was now the butt of the jokes and the old man.
Yeah, and well, that's what happened with Community. No, Chevy Chase had a reputation as an asshole going back to when he was in his prime. And yeah, he still gets work, but it's not like he's burnt a lot of bridges, right?
There's Chevy Chase. There was Jim Carrey. He was a nightmare to work with. He pissed off De Niro.
Different reasons, though. I heard Jim Carrey with the character acting was a little insane.
Character acting can rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, he got way too into method acting.
Yeah,
and it was just impossible to work with.
Yeah, method acting will if you're not with people that are 100% down with it, you're going to come off the wrong way. Yeah, I don't know that much about Jim Carrey, but it's like Tom Cruise actually is considered all the crazy shit aside. If you actually talk to people that have worked, not just met, right? Anybody can be charming when you meet them because you're excited to meet them. But people who have actually worked with them, most people have really great things to say about Tom Cruise. And there was that tape, I think it was 1.5 years, 2 years ago, that was released of Tom Cruise chewing some grip out on set, and everyone was like, "Oh, Tom Cruise," but people don't realize that wasn't.
Oh, are you talking about the COVID one?
That wasn't Tom Cruise, an actor. Doing that was Tom Cruise,
the producer,
the executive producer, meaning like he was the fucking not just boss, but he knew if people were violating COVID regulations, they could shut the entire. He had the stress of having to keep the production going. So yeah, he threatened to fire someone because they weren't following the rules. That's what a fucking boss does. And people.
Well, other thing about
he wasn't being Tom Cruise the actor; he was being Tom Cruise the producer in that moment.
Well, I mean, everybody was giving him shit because they're like, "Oh, he's so afraid of COVID or whatnot." And I watched the video. I was just like, he never mentioned, you're going to kill us all with your COVID.
It doesn't.
He was like, "You're going to get us shut down." I don't care.
If that guy doesn't fucking keep his mask on, thousands of people will lose their fucking job like that.
The industry was on a thread to begin with. And
we're talking about a film that I think that film's budget was something around $80-90 million. We're talking about thousands of jobs on the line that keep your fucking mask on or they'll shut this down and we're all going to lose our fucking job.
Yeah, freaking. That's just
it had nothing to do with his personal opinions. It had everything to do with the fact that they were filming this in England, if I'm not mistaken. So they were being really strict about sending people there to keep an eye on things and shit like that.
I say Tom Cruise is definitely one of those. He's very professional.
Yeah, no one has a bad. I mean, I'm sure there's been some people, but Tom Cruise has been at the top of his game since the mid '80s. There's a reason for it. Not only is he professional, he's likable. And that's why he's still an A-list guy. It's not just because he's likable on screen and he can dupe the masses. It's because people in the industry like him. All the crazy fucking Scientology shit aside. He's a likable guy. He's known as a nice guy.
Oh, yeah. See, but there's the difference between, he's very professional, but then you get the other guys who will blow up, like Christian Bale. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, well, that's a method actor that was having a moment right there.
No, that wasn't method acting.
Well, he wasn't method acting for that, but
minimum wage. That was some minimum wage boom light guy or whatever.
Yeah, well, not minimum wage. By the way, union people in that industry.
Oh yeah,
they
union
get compensated well for their work. But yes,
it was some nobody on set, and yeah, he's like, you just fucked up the whole scene with this And I feel so bad for this kid.
That was definitely an actor having a moment right there. And the thing is, like, as an actor, I get it because that is one of the things. You don't walk in someone's eye line while they're filming. So I get it. Like, he would have been bothered by that, but the blow up was a little extreme. Like, hey, buddy, I think you might need to go take a nap in your trailer.
It would have been understandable if, like, 5 minutes later he came back and was like, man, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, we all have those moments.
Yeah, but we're also here to make a movie. What are we here for? You know, walking in their eye lane is going to distract him. He's going to look that way or glance over. Take him out of the set or take him out of the scene a little bit. Like, be a professional, Mr. Boom Operator.
Yeah. Again, that
guy,
I'm
not saying don't be a professional. I'm just saying
that guy technically wasn't supposed to do that, but yeah, everyone remembers the Christian Bale. You're right, the Christian Bale tape. It's like, buddy, I mean, I get it, but you could have been a little nicer about
if he would have just came back and been like, dude, I'm sorry, I blew up a little bit.
Yeah.
And, then it's like, yeah, okay. But no, apparently he has a history of that.
Yeah, being a little grumpy puss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be a little grump, yeah. I've had moments, and I don't think it was because I was being a diva. I just let the stress get to me. So, and I never did a Christian Bale thing. I've never screamed at people or anything like that. But I got snippy with a director one time. Not in anything. But I've never. I've worked in all sorts of industries. I've never. That was kind of new to me too, and I had to be like, "What the fuck, Jack? Why are you doing this now of all times?" Mm-hmm. But I got snippy with a director one time, and I let the pressure get to me. I also hadn't pooped in 5 days, and the director also happened to be. I co-wrote the whole thing with him, so we wrote the thing together. He's directing, I'm acting, so we have a relationship that's a little, it's not just
it's
purely a work
playing
relationship. There was a little bit of a shared creative effort there, and then I felt
you may be my boss technically, but it's still our project.
We're still doing this together, yeah. And then once I pooped, it didn't happen again. I was good after that.
I've had those days.
Yeah, I didn't poop in 5 days. I still to this day I can't watch that show. And people, a lot of people have brought it up at times. People like the show, and I appreciate that they like it. I can't watch it only because I remember how badly I had to poop, and I have poop traumatic stress disorder is what I have, and so I can't watch that show.
Oh, I can imagine, because when you're watching the show, you're just thinking about, man, that guy right there.
I was so miserable. My tummy hurt so bad.
I think pooping is just one of those special things, Jack.
The older you get, too, the more important it becomes.
It's because you're yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm 38 years old. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to be funny. At this point, there are days where me having a good shit is more important than me rubbing one out. And I rub one out at least once a day. It's for health reasons.
Prostate health, yeah.
Yeah. But it's more important for me to get a good shit out than it is to come.
Yeah,
I've had poops like that.
You have to poop every day.
Yeah. I value pooping, and that's what I'm scared about, right? I don't poop well when I travel, so I'll have to get a good poop in Sunday, and then I'm flying to Seattle Sunday night. I'll be getting in late at night. Then I have to go straight to work early the next morning, and I want to make sure I'm able to get on a good poop schedule.
The coffee doesn't regulate that?
No, because with for me at least with remembering lines, I put myself through stress and shit where it fucks everything up, and then you add travel into the mix, and I'm Dunskies.
Have you tried maybe like a little light suppository?
I don't know. I don't even like to take Advil. Like, I don't like to fuck around. Like for a guy that smokes cigarettes and drinks, I'm
push it up the butt a little bit.
I know. I smoke cigarettes and I drink, but I don't like Advil. I don't like pain meds or anything like that.
I think it's more of like a saline solution than anything. It's pretty harmless from my understanding, but it just gets that stool moving in there.
I don't know.
I was about to say, if you go the coffee route though, you now have to schedule your day around the poop. You can't schedule your poop around your day anymore.
No, that's the problem with coffee though, is even on set. I could pound 3 coffees in a row and I still won't be able to shit. When I went to Sweden, I was in Sweden for 2 fucking weeks. And again, I don't think I pooped for the first 4 days. And then every shit I did after that for 2 weeks straight, was the most horrific experience. Like I couldn't get a normal shit out no matter.
Stay with me, Jack. Are coffee specifically made to make you poop. Like you're not breeding it for the flavor or the taste.
That's all coffee.
No. One that's just like a hyper poop, and you call it the regulator.
I love that idea. And the ironic part is I'm part of this private group with certain people I work with for a certain coffee company, and our group is called The Regulators.
Do you play the theme song?
Well, we just exchange ideas.
I used to get the packs of the espresso from Black Rifle. Those are delicious. But the problem with those was like it's scheduled my. Oh yeah, great! Fucking tasted amazing. Woke me up, but I had to poop exactly when I had to get the truck moving in the day. So it was just like I get everything ready, and I'm like ready to go on the road, and then out of nowhere, I'm just like, nope, guys, shut it down. We got to take a pause for a minute. And it's like my truck was leaving the shop late every day.
As a truck driver, I got to imagine one of your top 3 concerns, aside from keeping the vehicle moving and not getting in an accident, is like, because as a trucker, like you got to go. I got to imagine pooping is a very important part of your day. You can't be losing time on a poop.
It becomes strategic, yeah.
It's like being an astronaut. You got to plan out that poop schedule.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there'd be times it'd be like I'll take a rest stop, and then like an hour down the road, I'll be like, fuck, I gotta piss now. And it's just like I don't got time to actually pull off to a rest stop or wait for a truck stop or something. I'll just pull on the side of the road, put on the 4-ways,
and just do a good bottle piss.
If the weather's nice, I'll go outside. But yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. And if you got some clear space, I would imagine from Grand Rapids to certain other, I would imagine you got some good clear road where you don't have to worry about a bunch of meat gazers.
Well, you do it on the highway. It's just like nobody's turning their head quick enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think the art of highway pissing has been lost in this country? I feel like I don't see as many cars pulled over on the side of a rural highway as we used to. And you know what exactly, that one car door is open on the passenger side and someone's taking a leak. Do you think people piss on the side of the highway less than they used to maybe 20 years ago?
I think they do, but they've just gotten better at it, so you don't actually notice it.
Maybe we have more stops now, too.
That's very true.
There's probably more gas stations per capita.
Yeah, that's true. Mike, you want to hear a story? Hey, by the way, thanks for calling in, bro. We appreciate it. We got to get this going. This is, I've lost, I
lost your train of thought because we were on that poop talk, and then I ran to the bathroom because I felt like I had to poop because I had Chipotle for the first time in a few days, and I went hard on the hot sauce.
You got that poop going.
And it's just the bubble guts, though. So I'm trying to time it right now, just like I'm trying to time this caller.
My dad is 78 years old. Yeah. 78 years old. He's almost 80. Still got his faculties together up here. He's blind. He's deaf. He's borderline Helen Keller at this point. But by the way, I'm in my late 30s, and I was having a conversation with my dad, who I've never seen as anything but the most loving, greatest dad. But there's dad shit that happens that I'm not a dad, so I'm unaware of this. But there's dad shit that happens where like dads regret things that they maybe did to their children during their formative years, which even the child won't remember, right? And when I was 6 or 7 years old, we were driving from Minnesota to California, family trip. That's what we did in the summers. My dad was from I was actually born in California. My dad's from California. We'd always go visit family every summer, right? And I guess I was young. I had to take a leak, and I kept telling him, and he said, "Hold it, hold it, hold it," and I couldn't hold it, and I pissed myself in the car, and then he had to get to a truck stop and walk me through with piss all over my pants and everything like that, right? By the way, I don't remember this at all, and this wasn't traumatic for me. I was 6 or 7, and I pissed myself. That's not that big of a deal. But for my dad, I guess that traumatized him, and he felt so terrible for that. So for fucking over 30 goddamn years, he carried that one incident with him. And recently, he's just having a conversation with him, and he tells me that he's like sorry for that, for something that happened when I was 6. That it's not like the motherfucker beat me or like, withheld food from me or abused me anyway. He just didn't let me piss, and I pissed myself. And it was so sad to watch. Like, dude, I don't even remember this. Why are you angry at yourself for this, man? You were the best dad ever. It was so sad to watch my dad be sad about something that had happened over fucking 30 years ago.
Just weighs on people differently, Jack. Like it's just some people, it's the little things, I guess when you're responsible for a young child or you're frustrated or you don't think they really have to go and then they surprise your better judgment, maybe it just stays with you for a while.
Well, I pissed myself, which, hey, guess what? It wasn't a scarring thing for me because, I've carried that tradition in my adulthood, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, I piss and poop myself constantly.
Yeah.
Caller, what about you? You ever go 1 or 2 in your pants?
Hell, to this day, I still have issues with that shit. Well, it's probably kind of my job, but anyway, how the hell are you doing, Jack?
I fucking like you. Who are you?
Well, my name's Uncle Bert, and, well, I work at the Intergalactic Spaceport in Green River, Wyoming.
So I'm assuming the town of Green River, Wyoming, you got a good representative up there, and you brought in some good NASA jobs up there.
Well, we're more of a privately funded sort of.
You one of them Elon boys?
Here.
Are you an Elon or a Bezos boy?
We're the unknown third party that gets significantly less funded.
Branson.
You're
the
a Branson boy. You're and we're not talking about Branson, Missouri. We're talking about British Branson.
Oh yeah. A lot of people don't know, but old Big Dick Branson, he's funding this little escapade we got going on up here in Green River. But it's actually been going since '94, but a lot of people don't know that. We've gotten different benefactors from time to time, but everybody always falls out eventually.
I'm glad to hear that old Dickie Branson is making sure that small town Iowa is thriving with work. And the thing is, too, we think of like the cool billionaire guys, the Bezos and the fucking Elon Musks, but Richard Branson's been doing that shit since the fucking 90s. He's been doing all sorts of crazy billionaire dude stuff. He is the OG crazy billionaire dude.
Yeah, he had the island where had the toilet with no walls, right?
Yes, he had the island. He did Virgin Airlines. He did all sorts of. He was the crazy billionaire. Daredevil guy.
Yeah, he started up Virgin Airlines just that way we could get funded back when the comet hit that goddamn fucking thing up there in Jupiter, and we were worried about
I gotta tell you don't have a traditional Wyoming dialect. I gotta say this right now. You're sounding a little more southeast. Are you a transplant? What kind of Wyoming are you?
Well, yeah, I am a transplant. I kind of followed the work up here. See, I'm head of security for the Intergalactic Spaceport, and well, I started down in Florida there, wrestling gators and doing security for different tent revivals and chicken fights and whatnot.
Yes.
And eventually, I got hired on that resume, and they brought me up here to Wyoming. So, I mean, there ain't a hell of a lot out here, but hell, at least I got a strip club out here that's not too bad. I can't remember the name of it, but it's about near here, and I'm always too drunk to remember.
I like the cut of your jib, as they say, and I gotta say, man, I love learning about the workings of America through the diverse listeners of this show. We got the Pennsylvanians and the Connecticutese and the Iowanis and the Wyomingers, and I'm so glad to hear about what you're up to, man. Now, are you happy with what Mr. Branson's paying you?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Every now and then we get some weirdos to chill up here trying to sell us random shit. But, oh, wait, hold on. Oh, that's one of them right now. Wait, one second. All right. Why are you going to be selling me potatoes and no time? God damn it, this is fucking Irish guy. He's fucking back again. I told him, go away fucking 3 different times or I'm going to fucking shoot you. All right, I'm spinning the big air, so I'm just trying to get in here. I want to sell you some potatoes. I don't want no fucking potatoes. Get the fuck out of here, goddamn.
Are you being harassed by an Irishman right now?
And he's trying to sell you potatoes?
Yeah. I think we got rid of him. Yep, they hauled him out. All right. Yep, we're good. Yeah, he comes around every now and then. He said his name is Benny.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he just lives out by the dumpsters out back.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it gets real tough around here. He always finds his way in. I don't fucking know how, but yeah, he tried to sell me some potatoes one day, and he opened up a whole fucking crate, and it turned out there was just a bunch of Kalashnikovs. So kind of flipped him a couple bills here and there. Took one for myself, and I told him get the fuck out because we don't fucking goddamn take solicitors around here. It's a secret government fucking goddamn facility.
Giorgio.
Wow.
Giorgio, will you do me a favor?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Yes. You want to trace the call?
Can you text Ross or Dan and tell them to get this guy on the payroll?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm tracing the call. I'm using my super secret. I got to put this down.
We got to get this guy on the payroll. We got to get, and look, for me as the lowest level employee of the Drinking Bros Network, I'm calling it now. We got to get this guy on the payroll. I'm taking initiative. Yeah. Ross told me you need to take more initiative.
I think you've been giving away stuff from set, and it's time to start putting people on the payroll.
We
Jack.
Put people on the payroll.
I think this caller might be number one. I think we got to actually get him something from set. Maybe we get him a microphone. Maybe we send him a microphone to his house.
Yeah.
Maybe he calls in quite a bit.
We got to make him part of the show. I like this guy.
Yeah. Well, he's in Wyoming right now.
He's got to come in with a different. Right now, he's 2 for 2. He's came in with 2 good characters. He's got to keep it up though.
Or he has to build. Like, what's his plan? What is he working on up there? Is it space?
The thing is, I feel he's really thought this character out.
Right.
And probably some kind of grand conspiracy between all these goddamn characters, or I might just be schizophrenic. I'm not really sure.
Let him go out on top, Giorgio. Let him go out on top, Giorgio.
I'm hanging up on him right now. Yeah.
Let him go out on top.
Well, Jack. If we
just went full Seinfeld, going out on top right there.
If we are just entertaining a schizophrenic and like we just start pumping money into it and we just see how much money we can just dump into just entertaining.
We're literally funding this guy's psychosis right now.
Yes.
Because we think he's in different characters, but he's actually having real mental problems.
We would become the bit at that point, Jack. And we should become this caller.
We're a bit in his world. Caller, to who are we speaking at?
It's Matt from Iowa.
God damn, what part of Iowa, dude? You sound so fucking sexy.
Well, Jack's looking pretty sexy.
Thanks, man. I took my coat off. You got full stuff going on right now.
I live in Cedar Rapids right now, but I'm from Northeast Iowa originally, from some podunk town.
I know Cedar Rapids. I got a lot of family down in Cedar Rapids. You ever heard of a little town called Lamont, Iowa?
I've heard of it. I don't know if I've ever been there though.
There's no reason to go there, but I'm related to half that town. I think it's about a half hour outside of Manchester, which is one of the bigger communities, aka 5,000 people. Yeah.
Well, my hometown's only about 3,000 people, so.
That's very Iowa of you. Hey, so I was talking to my buddy's girlfriend. She's from Iowa originally, and I was talking to her about. So everyone gives Iowa a bad rap, right? It's flat, and it's just cornrows. But there is a beautiful element to Iowa. Do you know who Grant Wood is?
Yeah. He's that guy with that ugly wife and the pitchfork, ain't he?
Well, he painted that. He painted American Gothic, which is the farmer and the wife, right? Yep. So that's what he's obviously most known for, and everyone's seen that fucking painting. But if you look at his other work, he does these incredible landscape paintings of rural Iowa. That's pretty much all he did was paint Iowa, and it's beautiful. He really actually shows the beauty of Iowa. I think Iowa's a very beautiful state. People don't think much of it because they just think, oh, it's just fucking corn and all that. But there's a beauty to that state that Grant Wood, one of the all-time great American painters, he really truly captured.
Similar to the way Russian literature, because Iowa is painfully cold, Jack. I've been to Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, it's cold. I grew up in Minneapolis, so a little bit colder. Don't want to brag, but yes. Yeah, I know the region.
Yeah, well,
the city of 5 smells.
Yeah.
Jack, your city needed tunnels for people to walk underneath to survive.
They don't. They have a skyway, so you can go from one end of downtown Minneapolis to the other and never have to go outside because there's a skyway between all the skyscrapers where you never even have to step outside. You can just walk into one building into the other.
Now, Jack, let me ask you a question here. Now, there's a building on an island downtown by the interstate there. It's the Veterans Memorial Building now.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know the stained glass window on the south side facing side, that's a Grant Wood stained glass window, I believe.
I haven't seen that. Next time I'm up in Cedar Rapids, I'll have to go check that out. Yeah. So look, I'm in my late 30s and I'm going through this thing where I've always appreciated art, but now I'm seeking it out, right? When I go places, I'm seeking out like local staples like that. So that's actually really good to know. I appreciate that because when I used to go down to Cedar Rapids, it was more about me finding out who had weed. So now I want to find out who's got the good art galleries.
Well, Have to go for a walk when you get down here then sometime.
That sounds good. Go to the old Quaker Mills plant. Is the Quaker Mills plant still open?
Yep.
Quaker Oats? Yeah.
Yep. You can tell when they're cooking different kinds of cereals.
You can smell it downtown.
Like, yeah.
All of downtown smells like oats.
Well, unless they're making, what is it, crunch berries?
Yeah.
Then it smells like fruity raspberry or whatever.
Yeah, Cedar Rapids. Well, I don't know if it was Cedar Rapids or Des Moines, or maybe it was Iowa in general, but they were ranked, or I think it was either Cedar Rapids or Des Moines. I think Cedar Rapids, but it was ranked as like the #1 city in America to raise a family.
I can believe
Des Moines,
that.
I believe.
Yeah, okay, Des Moines then.
I meant Cedar Falls earlier. I've been to Cedar Falls, and it's miserable there.
Yeah, so Iowa's got some good cities, and it's got some great small towns. There's a lot of, because, the way that the farming industry has changed and all that.
The dome is so cold there.
Yeah, there's some economic insecurity there.
And I always fall on ice, and I hurt myself.
Yeah. Well, Iowa's cold, man.
You're just looking at me like it's no big deal.
Are you Czech?
Jack.
Are you Czech?
No, I'm Irish and German.
Oh, you're one of the few non-Czechs in that town.
Damn right.
All right, good for you.
So, I was just going to ask you something. I forgot what the fuck I was going to ask you here, so give me a second.
I'm the high one here. We don't need two stoners on the show.
You've been smoking that ethanol weed?
No, I've had a few beers, though.
Okay. Busch Light?
No, Bud Light.
Oh, Bud Light, okay.
It's the cheapest.
Most Iowans are Busch people.
You say Bud Light is the cheapest?
Well, it was on sale.
Busch Light is a big popular beer in Iowa.
Busch Latte.
Yeah, Busch Latte.
Really?
Yeah, they love it down there, man. They love their Busch products in Iowa.
I was a good Beast guy in high school.
No, I was trying to call you earlier when you were talking about taking a poop there, Jack, and you never told them what it's, after a 5-day MRE binge.
Oh, I went through that when I was younger, when I was in the United States Cream Corn. Yeah, I got backed up on. I have a good. See, I don't like telling. Let me tell you first off, I don't like telling war stories. Right? I've been in a few firefights when I was younger, but it's not because I have like PTSD or like I'm humble about my war experience. It's just like. It's like I hang out with like dudes that are like Navy SEALs and fucking Green Berets and Medal of Honor recipients. And like, I don't even like their war stories. So I definitely don't give a shit about my own. But like, so when I talk, the only time if I ever think back on when I was in the war, I think about there was a time I couldn't poop for 4 days when I was out there. And
but did it feel good when you could?
Yes, but it came out. It was a painful poop. And when you're in your late teens, early 20s, it's not normal for you to have painful poops. That's something that happens when you get older. So it was very new to me at that time. It was because of those dehydrated MREs. I wasn't getting enough, and I wasn't getting enough hydration.
So do you wrestle?
No, heck no, man. Do I look like the type of person that ever went through a sport that took the sacrifice of wrestling?
Yes, you look exactly like an ex-wrestler, Jack, to be honest.
Are you fucking with me, George?
No, not at all. They all
thank you.
They all exactly like you.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to wrestle, and I look kind of like you, man. And got a little gas tank up front there.
It's just there when you need to power through.
No, I never did any discipline. I played football like any American kid. I played baseball like any American kid. I grew up in the state of hockey. I actually never was great at hockey, but like all kids in Minnesota, I know how to skate and shoot a puck and pass. But like, no, I never did any, like wrestling takes real discipline. And especially think about a 15-year-old in this country who's wrestling. Think about trying to tell a child like, what you got to cut weight. Like, it takes a special kind of kid, especially when their bodies are growing like that and all their bodies want to do is consume food to sacrifice. So I never had that kind of discipline.
You indoctrinate them young, Jack. You indoctrinate them young.
Yeah. Well, look, again, I never had the discipline to be a wrestler and or a jits person or a boxer or taekwondo. I did 2 weeks of karate when I was 8 years old, and that's the extent of it.
Shout out to Stephen Thompson holding it down for the karate people.
I grew up in the, I grew up that was probably the late 80s, early 90s when I did that. And that was a big boom in the karate industry.
Karate was huge, and so was hockey, right? Wasn't the Mighty Ducks like the biggest kids movie at that point in time?
Hockey was always big where I came from. I'm sure it made it a lot more popular nationally because of the movie. They actually filmed it one town over from where I grew up. Like my cousin and his friends were like, they were like skaters, and they were the skate doubles for the actual actors in that. Mm-hmm. Like they was filmed in Minneapolis there, and Mighty Ducks. It didn't put Minneapolis on the map, but I can't think of any movie that actually represents that community better than the Mighty Ducks.
And that's something really interesting about sports there, too, because there's no other sport anywhere else. Like maybe football in Texas, but not really, where no matter who you are, you have played it or understand how to play it or have some sort of skill.
That's hockey in Minnesota, man.
It's like football in Brazil almost, or soccer in Brazil. Like it's insane.
I think Minnesota is like one of the only states or the only state where like basketball is the second most popular winter sport to hockey. It's like basketball is second to hockey in Minnesota, which that doesn't happen anywhere else.
In America, no.
Yeah,
you could get Timberwolves tickets easier than you could St. Cloud State hockey team tickets.
That's absolutely true, right? So like the Minnesota Wild could be having a fucking shit season, and the fucking Timberwolves could be killing it, but it might be at certain times it'll be easier to get freaking Timberwolves tickets than Wild tickets. It's just Minnesota's the state of hockey. More American NHL players come from Minnesota than any other state. So, and then the majority of them are Canadian and Russian and Scandinavian. Couple Koreans in the mix.
A lot of Hmong population up there too.
Hmong, yeah. We got a huge Hmong population in Minnesota. So when I was growing up there, that's when the Hmong influx, they came over as refugees. So a lot of people don't realize the Hmong, they were an ethnic minority, and they're like, to give it comparison, they were like Kurds in a lot of ways. So they were a ethnic minority that never had a country of their own, and their land, their tribal land kind of covered numerous countries. So like with the Kurds, they go into Turkey and Iraq, and I think they flood into Syria as well, right? Same thing with the Hmong. They were in China and other parts of Southeast Asia, and they were traditionally mistreated by they were mistreated by the Vietnamese, by the Laotians, by the Chinese. They were very discriminated against, and they were mountain people, right? They were like the West Virginians of Asia. And so they at a certain point in the early 90s, they got refugee status. And for whatever reason, the United States government was like, hey, let's just fucking send them to Minnesota, the fucking coldest, most flattest place in America. And so they sent them to Minnesota. And overnight, we got a huge Hmong population. I grew up, in a generation where my classmates were, first generation Americans. They were maybe the first people in their family that were born in the United States, or, maybe they'd come here when they were 1 or 2 years old. So they were, fully American. And so now the Hmong population is, part of the whole city's. Minnesota's always been known as a Norwegian and German state. Now the Hmong are definitely in the mix as far as an ethnic powerhouse in the state. They have legislative power. They're in legislative positions. They sit as mayors of cities, and they're part of the police force, right? Like one of the George Floyd cops was Hmong, doing a real pride to his community there.
Well, I have a really important question, Jack.
Yeah.
Now, is there like an Americanized fast food Hmong restaurant or chain that is like came up and like that would have never existed anywhere else except for Hmongs being introduced into America?
No, there was Hmong food. I had opportunities to eat like Hmong food, but again, like it's just a variation of like Vietnamese food or like stuff like that, right?
But there's no like happy cartoon like here's a quick service fast
Hmong
food version.
Chain.
Yeah,
no. I don't know that much about Hmong diet. I think is relatively similar to like if you were to have Vietnamese food. But I don't think there's like no. There's no Hmong.
So it's like
there's
it's a noodle
food.
soup.
There's Hmong food for sure. They have Hmong restaurants. There's certainly no chain.
Okay. So they're not really American yet.
What? Look, but by the way, no. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you the bullshit of American food to begin with. There's really few examples of unique American cuisine, right? There's American barbecue is very unique, right? It could, because you can trace it back to the indigenous people here. But at the end of the day, like what we know as Italian food in America is not the main part of Italian food. We know what's Sicilian food and Southern Italian food because the people that came over here from Southern Italy and Sicily, they were poor and they brought their poor people cuisine with them. And so that's what we know as Italian food. But when you look at Italian food, it's actually very diverse and there's a lot of diversity to the dishes, but all we know here in America is like spaghetti and meatballs and ziti and all the Southern Italian. Same thing with Mexican food, right? What we know as a Mexican food in America is really just Northern Mexican food, and it comes from the poorer populations who brought that cuisine over here. But you go to a place like Mexico City, Mexican food is very diverse, and there's all sorts of crazy dishes that we just don't eat here in America because we're just used to what the main immigrant food is. Same thing with Chinese food. If you go to fucking Beijing, Chinese food is diverse. There's all sorts of shit going on with Chinese food. But what we know as Chinese food in America is what the poorer populations brought over when they immigrated here. People don't come to America because they're killing it where they're from. They come to America because they're part of a lower working class and they feel like they can have better opportunities here. And the cuisine says a lot about our culture here, that the Italian food, the Chinese food, the Mexican food, I could go on and on, right? There's all sorts of dishes, ethnic dishes. Irish food, right? The people who are of wealth in Dublin weren't eating fucking shepherd's pie and shit like that, right? Like they weren't fucking doing basic dishes. That's what the fucking poor people did. The fish and chip shit. That was poor people's food, and they brought that over here. Ethiopian. I lived in D.C. I lived in fucking D.C. There's an Ethiopian restaurant in every corner, right? Ethiopian food's a big thing. That's where there's a huge Ethiopian population around the District of Columbia. They brought over their lower class food, which if you were to go to certain parts of Ethiopia, I'm sure there's a lot more diversity and high-end cuisine there. It's just those people aren't moving to America. They're not bringing that shit over here.
Hey, I'm going to let you guys go. I got to run.
You don't like this rant I'm doing about food, do you?
No, I hung up on him because I love this rant about food, Jack. I will touch food.
Giorgio,
all day long
you're
with
Greek.
You. Yeah.
You're Greek.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but we really adopted the Mexican heritage of my family. So I'm on top of my mom's family.
Okay, all right. But that's what we eat. We eat that Guadalajara style Mexican food in this country. But Mexico's a huge country. There's a lot of diverse cuisine.
They'll deep fry a whole fish for you. It's amazing.
Yeah, Baja Mexican, Baja Mexican food, right? Yeah.
Carl, you ever had Baja Mexican food?
I've heard it's great, but I haven't had it. No.
Yeah. And you know what? In my opinion, the most underrated ethnic cuisine in America is? When I say ethnic, everything in America is ethnic cuisine, right? Even like barbecue, which is uniquely American. It literally started with the indigenous people. Like I can't think of anything other than a fucking hot dog that's uniquely American. But that still is...
Isn't the hamburger American?
It's transitively related to fucking German shit, right? The Germans brought a lot of their fucking shit over here that became popular, right? There's really very few items that are uniquely American. But so all American food is ethnic food in its own right. You know what the most underrated food in America is that I never even had until I was in my 30s? And it's hard to find outside of that area. You can get in here in Texas because of the geographical proximity, probably Mississippi and shit like that, Arkansas. Fucking Cajun food. Louisiana food. Phenomenal.
You like plantains?
Oh my, dude, I love everything about that food down there. The fucking gumbo and jambalaya, fucking boudin. Like, I never even had that shit till I was in my 30s. And I was like, how the fuck...
The okra.
Cajun food is America's best kept secret. Like, that should be, like, if we were to export any type of food that kind of had its own unique origins in this country, like, there should be Cajun restaurants in Beijing. There should be Cajun restaurants in London. There should be Cajun restaurants in fucking Johannesburg. There should be Cajun restaurants in Dubai.
Isn't that very heavily French inspired though? Like Cajun starts with like the roux.
No, so the French populated arcade, or the Arcadian. The French populated a certain part of Canada. They ethnically became they were Arcadian. They were Arcadian French, and they came over to
different than the circadian
to modern
rhythm.
French Canada, and then eventually a lot of them got sick of Canada, so they made their way into Louisiana. But they're Arcadian French.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now I'm trying to think of anything
Low class French.
that's American.
Huh?
I'm trying to think of other things that it's American.
Foods that are uniquely American.
Right.
Again, technically barbecue is. American barbecue is uniquely American.
Frog legs?
No, isn't that known? That's a French thing.
Barbecue? Yeah, I guess you're right. Oh, man. Wow, this is hard. This is really hard.
Yeah, you could say hamburgers are, but...
Yeah, hamburgers is what I was thinking.
Yeah, but, like, that's kind of an offshoot of what the fucking Germans were doing.
Popcorn?
Peanut butter. Peanut butter is uniquely
George Washington
French.
Carver, yes.
George Washington Carver, yes. Peanut butter is 100% American.
So all offshoots of peanut butter?
Peanut butter is an American fucking thing, for sure. Yeah.
Pancakes aren't. None of the baking is.
Yeah. Cocaine?
No.
It's Western Hemisphere. I mean, we're all Americans in the West.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do we have a caller on the line?
Caller.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Bro,
I forgot
so
about
sorry.
that.
We got. Sorry, dude. What's going on?
No,
bro?
it's fine. I was trying to figure out some more American cuisine myself, but I'm like
candies, maybe. I guess.
Yes, candies are definitely like Hershey's. That's uniquely American. Yeah. But I mean.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Jack?
How you doing, bro?
You know who this is, right?
Krager's.
Jack, I know I love you so much.
How's married life going for you?
How's Iowa?
How's married life going for you, bro?
I loved Iowa. It was cold one day.
Oh, so I mean, there you go. Marriage life is going good. Just nothing really changed. All it is just something on my finger, and then some legal document at the courthouse. I mean, that's really all.
Do you feel more comfortable coming in your wife now than before you were married?
No, I think I feel more confident, but not less awkward.
Are you going to be a dad? Do you want to make babies?
Yeah, I would like to be a dad someday, you know, instead of being the greatest uncle, which, I mean, seems like all my brother-in-laws, and well, besides one, who honestly will probably never find someone in his life. But everyone else in the whole family is like having kids. So sooner or later, it's going to be Amy and I's chance. So.
Are you going to do that thing where you do, you know, like 5 years of just being, you know, happy and married and spending time with the wife, or are you guys going to jump right into baby making?
We're trying to kickstart the engine real quick. You know, we're trying to get there, but it'll happen when it happens, you know, kind of thing. So
I like that outlook. You're like, I'm just not worried about it, but you know,
That's
pull
good,
the goalie.
But Krager's, I've never asked this. How old are you?
I'm 31.
Oh, okay. You're young.
I mean, some days I feel older than that, but Ruben might have something to say about that.
I'm 38 years old. I'm childless. And all I've ever wanted to be, especially in my 30s, since I'm financially, contrary to what you're looking at right now, Krager's, I'm actually very financially stable. I got a good credit score. I have very, very little debt. I make a good income. I keep my shit together. And my last check mark is I want to be a dad. And 50% of the reason I want to be a dad is basically I just want someone to play catch with.
So you kind of just want to have a field of dreams moment and have a catch with your dad.
I just want someone to play catch with me. You know how hard it is to walk up to another grown man and be like, hey, man, you got a mitt on you. You want to play catch? If you're a dad, your kid loves going out to play catch with you, boy or girl. They want to spend time with dad and throw that ball around.
As a child, on the contrary, as a child who was bad at baseball and whose father played in the minors, he would get very frustrated with me as we would play catch.
Your dad was a minor league ball player?
Traveling baseball. I don't know what you call these things, but yeah, whatever.
But he was a baseball dude.
Yeah, and I was bad at baseball, so he would kind of like throw a little English on him sometimes when I wasn't paying attention or if I'd forget my socks. So you're not really missing out on much. And also, there's softball leagues, Chad.
Well, hey, Georgia, the good news is you can, with that cauliflower ear, you can beat the shit out of your dad if you want to.
That's
a lot more important than throwing a ball.
That was many Christmases ago. It was a whole family ordeal. We had ham that evening.
Oh, ham gets people riled up.
It really does. Ham and Michelob Ultra.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you're from Missouri.
North Carolina.
Way off. Again, I've known you long enough, and every time you say this, it instantly clicks in, and I know this, but I'm wrong leading.
I was born in California, raised in North Carolina, went to college in Missouri. Then I was a vagrant, still kind of a vagrant. But now
Giorgio, you and I are so similar. I was born in California, raised in Minnesota, went to school in Texas, and I've lived fucking all over in my adult
very
life.
similar lives. Yeah. Very similar, yeah. And we're Central California, or at least that was me.
The only difference between you and I is I'm not about to beat the shit out of Dakota here in a couple months, like you are.
You can do it after me.
I don't want your sloppy seconds.
Why not? Sharing is caring.
I don't want your sloppy seconds. I don't roll like that. I don't roll like that with women. I don't roll like that with frickin' dudes to fight. I don't roll like that with callers. If Krager's were to hang up and call again, I don't want second Krager's. I want Krager's in the now.
I mean, I'll take second Krager's.
Oof. Well, I think I have more respect for you, Jack. If I call you once, I won't call you back. Unless the call dropped, i.e.,
no, it's okay then. That's like a breakup, and then you're getting back together. That's just a call drop, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that former Iowan that was on who doesn't drink Busch Light, what's going on with that?
I don't know. I don't expect every Iowan to be the same. That'd be unfair to classify. It's there's 2 million people in that state. You can't expect everyone to be on the same page, but. Back me up here, Kragers. Busch Light is an Iowa thing.
Yeah, it's very Iowan. I think Delco was joking with me earlier this week and was like, "Oh, hey, if Iowa does win, I'll just give you a bushel of corn and then maybe a case of Busch Light if Iowa does beat Michigan on Saturday."
That's amazing what happened. I'm very proud of the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers recently for beating Wisconsin, get that Paul Bunyan axe back. And because Minnesota beat Wisconsin, Iowa is now the Big Ten West. They're contending for the Big Ten championship against Michigan.
Which I do greatly appreciate, Jack, because
you're welcome for my home state service.
Yeah, because Iowa was like, you know what, let's screw the pooch against Purdue on Craig's wedding day, so let's just lose that game. And then also let's get our shit tossed because of Wisconsin. But so luckily we won out. We beat West Iowa. Some people call it Nebraska, but it's technically West Iowa. Let's just make that.
You guys almost lost that game. You guys were trying to lose that game.
I know. I was not trying to punch my new TV until our defensive special teams were like, you know what, fuck it. What the hell are we doing? But luckily, Frosty is, Scott Frost and doesn't know how to coach. And Nebraska should just ultimately just not have a football team. But that's just me being a Iowa homer and all that stuff and just laughing at their mediocre seasons that they've had since moving to the Big Ten. But that's just me.
Are you using my show to talk a lot of shit about everyone else? Because I respect that about you. I respect that about you, Kragers.
Well, I'm just talking a lot of shit about Nebraska.
That's okay, man. The Eric Crouch days are over. Them Osborne days are over, man. Have at them. Fuck them.
Is Osborne still alive? I've seen some photos of him, and he's looking like Prince William or Prince Harry or whatever, and he's looking like he's barely passed out some days.
Hold up. My dear friend Mike from Midland, he's a cop in Midland, Texas. He's been one of my best friends since I was 19. He says, "What are you doing?" And I got to take a selfie myself saying, "Hey, dude, I'm at work. Don't ever fucking interrupt me at work."
Oh, geez.
I didn't do that. I just wrote "at work," LOL.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Craig? Craigers? This is the thing. We could take a new caller with like 10 minutes left in the show, or we could wrap it up with you. What would you prefer? It's your call. If you want to fucking talk shit about Nebraska for the next fucking 5-6 minutes, it's all yours. Or if you want to let somebody else come in and do their shit, it's up to you, man. I'm putting it on you because I don't want to think right now.
You know what? I want someone else to have the chance to end the show because I did have a chance to end the show a few weeks back. So I want to give that honor to someone else. You know, I'm a giver. So I just want to say I love you guys. Hope you have a great weekend and all that lovely jazz.
Oh, I love you too, Craig. Thanks for always being there. You know, you're part of the Nooner Nation crew and one of our favorite guests.
Love me some Craigers, one of my favorite Iowans. Because
of Craig, I believe that Iowa is real.
It's a real place.
Which I know, like
I've been there. I've been there a lot, man, all over the state.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it, I saw it. We have, I guess, what was it, West Iowa? He called it, whatever Nebraska is. We have a caller from Nebraska tonight. Hello, caller. Who dis?
Hey, Giorgio, this is Jesse. Called back a couple weeks ago, and you guys are doing the live call-in sports show, so just figured that. Heard Krager's talking shit on Nebraska, which is not wrong, as long as he's talking about the football team and not the state, which is superior to Iowa.
Wait, no, I just want to be very clear here. I have nothing bad to say about Nebraska as a state. I think Nebraska as a state is a wonderful place. I respect the heck out of Lincoln and whatever other fucking cities you have there that I'm not aware of because it's Nebraska and nobody thinks of it. Anyways, I love Nebraska as a state. It's just I don't care for Nebraska football, mainly because I don't like red. It's Satan's color, and I'm not into that shit.
I mean, that's understandable. A lackluster team since the Bo Pelini days is another reason to not really want to cheer for our team. That's another good reason.
Hey, but I respect you as a person, just not your football preferences. That's all. And by the way, I finally got a hold of my friend Mike. My friend Mike I'm FaceTiming him right now. I got my phone situated right at my face, and I'm not a good multitasker. So I'm talking to you about Nebraska sports. I got my old friend Mike here. I'm on the mic right now. I got to communicate with Giorgio, and at the end of the day, I got to justify my paycheck.
Jack, you don't have to do anything. You're in the zone right now.
Okay, I'm in the zone. Thank you.
I mean, I'm multitasking as well. I'm trying to get some brackets welded up here, so we're both doing what we need to do.
What are you doing? Where do you work at, bro?
I'm a farmer, trying to get some brackets welded up for some lights on my tractor right now.
I love the American having grown up in Minnesota in the suburbs, I love the people that put food on my plate.
I love that you're watching us while working on your tractor in your garage. You probably have a floodlight on. I know exactly what you're doing. Are you using... do you have a generator welder? You just using some TIG welding? What do you got going on right now?
Yep, just a wire welder.
Okay, yeah, that's all you need. Yeah, we'll drop some fun. I did a lot of farming in California and North Carolina.
Are you on a family? Are you on a family property, or are you working for one of the big companies?
A little bit of both.
Yeah,
do a little bit on my own, but for the most part, the day job is what pays the bills.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough, man. I know. So I'm not really well versed in the industry. I know there's a huge shift in, the family farm is dying in America, and it's a lot of corporate conglomerates that own the land at this point.
Yeah, for sure. It's a little bit of an endemic, and then old Bill Gates buying up everything as well.
Bill Gates is in the farming world?
In the land-owning business.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
He's the largest farmable landowner in America now.
What the fuck? How the shit am I just learning about this?
Because you don't watch American Party.
I don't watch American Party, and I don't watch any news. I go to Twitter once a day for about an hour, and I get really depressed, and that's the extent. And I really only go into what's trending, so I'm not even getting all the news. I'm just getting I'm sometimes I'm learning about celebrity breakups. Sometimes I'm learning about coups. Sometimes I'm learning about government shutdowns. Sometimes I'm learning about Seth Rogen's show got canceled. I don't know. It could be anything.
Yeah, he got in that little Twitter beef with Casey Neistat. I just get all my news from Breaking Point's YouTube channel with Sagar and Crystal. They break everything down in these little 10-minute segments, and I just watch those on my phone in between shows, and I try to sound informed.
Fair enough, yeah. Well, that's the American way. Fake it, or it's not about what you can do, it's about how you look along the way, right, baby? Yeah,
exactly.
We're Americans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I can't drive 55.
Yeah. Oh, good Sammy Hagar reference there.
Yeah.
So, hey, Giorgio, do we end the show at 1:30 on the dot? Because we're 15 seconds over, and I will fucking request Dan for overtime.
No, we are just going to shout out Nebraska, a.k.a. Iowa. We will acknowledge that they are both real places. We've learned that me and Jack both have a little affinity for farming in our hearts. And,
yes.
Miss the working the land at night and just going in after a hard day's work. The sun is set. You got grass all on your feet and your boots. You take them off outside, and you just crack a cold one and watch TV. And you just hopefully there's someone
You crack
there.
a cold bush light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should end the show like that.
Giorgio, but we got to do it. Look,
gotta say nice things.
We got to say nice things. And since it's just you and me in the studio tonight, I got to say, Giorgio, I'm happy you had a good Thanksgiving. I'm happy you're still with your lady. I never asked, which I should have if I was a better friend. And I'm more happy that you're going to beat Dakota in the fight coming up here in a few months.
I'm happy that there's something to entertain you guys with my super fight with Dakota. I didn't realize you guys were going to be on my side like this. I really thought he was going to have much more of a fan base, much more people cheering for him. A lot of people in the chat.
I think, Giorgio, they see that cauliflower ear on you, and they're like, they want to go with a winner.
But I'm small, I'm literally a decade on the couch. I have put a lot of time in as of recent, and I'm taking it quite seriously.
Are you going to be sober or high for your fight?
I'll probably be high about 2 hours before, maybe an hour before.
But you got such a high tolerance that you'll be clear-headed by the time you
Which
go.
I will be upset about, but I probably don't want to actively be smoking that quickly before I go into a competition.
Have you ever competed while you were stoned?
No. I started this whole heavy smoking part of my life started around
after
the age,
wrestling.
Yeah.
I
had smoked some during the summers, but I could buy an eighth of weed and it would last me
back in the olden days.
Yeah, forever. And now I'm like,
cheap,
that's a day and a half's worth of weed.
So you didn't become a pothead until you had already established your cauliflower ear and you were done with wrestling and you could just be a dude on the radio.
I was always really afraid of how it was going to hurt my cardio going back. So coming back this first time really hard.
Are you going to slow down on your pot smoking when going into the fight?
I feel like it's just such a part of my life now, and just.
But
me
your
and my
lungs will be
character.
better if you're not, or at least do edibles or something.
I might switch to a little bit of the edibles, but honestly, it's about getting that first lung back, being able to compete and go for 25 minutes, which I kind of did last weekend for the first time a little bit. So it's okay, we're getting to this base level of shape. So let's see how far we can push it and see how much the smoking pot really affects it. What if it doesn't affect it?
I get it, man. I do the elliptical 3 times a week. I know what it's like to get back into shape. And by the way, I'm not doing the elliptical to look great. I'm just doing it so I can keep eating like shit and not have to worry about a heart attack.
Oh, I believe it. As long as you get heart health, first of all, food, mouth pleasure is the
only
best
work
pleasure.
out so I can keep up with my terrible lifestyle.
People don't give eating enough credit. They talk about sex all the time and how good that is, but food is...
I'm 38, man.
Food's
I'm 38.
better.
Certain things are starting to take more priority at this point in my life. I'm not as cum-driven as I used to be. I'm a little more food and poop-driven.
A good slice of cheesecake, fresh fajitas that are sizzling. Hey, do you really beat that?
No. I'll take a good meal and a good poop over a woman at a lot of at so many points at this point in my life.
I think they know. I think my girlfriend knows that too. Just internally.
That's why she feeds. Is your girlfriend? Is she Italian or anything like that, or is she Hispanic? Right? Is she I gotta feed my man type of thing?
I wish she's real white,
super white, like me white, boring white.
whiter.
Oh, whiter than me?
Yeah.
I come from all the boring whites. I'm not even like Spanish or Greek or Italian or anything. I'm like boring white.
Yeah, she's Iowa white. Yeah, no,
I'm Billy Ray Cyrus white, man.
She's really into like holistic health. So, you know, she just tells me a lot about herbs.
Oh, okay. Sounds like some white girl shit, right?
Yeah, yes, I could say like she is the
That's
whitest
very white
of
girl
white
shit,
girl.
yeah.
Yeah. This is not like I'm gonna make you homemade empanadas because I'm dating a Latin. You know,
No, she's
none
not
of
even
that.
gonna make an attempt. She's gonna make shepherd's pie and.
Yeah, she cooks, but it's like, you know, she pulls the recipe up on her phone or the video while she's cooking in the kitchen, and then asks me to chop onions and stuff. So.
Well, that's good. That's a good bonding thing for any couple. Yeah, is to cook together.
Yeah, but then I gotta clean, and like I would just rather go out to eat because, you know, I'm a creature of comfort.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's good though. At the end of the day, having a good, stable home life is, you know, eating together as a family. And you're gonna be a dad someday. You know, does she want to have babies?
No, and neither do I.
Oh, you're on the same page. That's a good. It's a good thing.
Yeah, because she's not on birth control, so you know.
Oh, do you pull out, or do you like to risk it?
I do. Unfortunately.
You risk it.
I do.
And I'll tell you why you do it. And I'll tell you, because, look, I'm telling you, as a 38-year-old guy who hasn't had sex in like months, I'll tell you this right now. Men have biological clocks too, right? Everyone talks about a woman's biological clock. Well, men have biological clocks too. And men don't probably have to face it as much as women do, right? But there's something that there's a physiological happening with men at a certain age, especially if you haven't had children, where just like a woman, your body's telling you to reproduce. And you're going through that right now, George.
No. I pull out. That's what I meant by risking is I pull out.
Oh, okay.
No, oh my God,
I just
Jack,
gave a whole speech for nothing.
Jack, you thought I was blowing. No, that's crazy.
No.
I would be so, like, you know how.
I want to have babies.
That's the exact opposite. Like I have finally have my life stable and in some sort of way that I can treat myself, and like even the stress of having dependent upon a girlfriend. Like I really enjoyed my solo lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like the quiet home that I walk into. Stuff is still where I left it. Like I could beat off in my living room.
Yeah.
Like
you don't have to worry about boogers on the floor and toys everywhere.
Well, yeah, right. And like I vacuum every day, and it's nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's just I got my house plants. I can go eat Chipotle if I want to, when I want to, at the time I want. You know, it's
you don't have to pay for Happy Meals when you go to McDonald's.
No.
I'm looking at I'm actually so I'm FaceTiming my buddy my buddy Mike right now, and he's actually in his kid's room right now, and there's toys everywhere. Does that stress you out, Giorgio?
No, you see, because I have two best friends of the show, Jackson Jagger, and I can play with them whenever I want. And I saw them just last weekend at D'Anthony's Friendsgiving, and both of them put me into jail. So we took some of the dog toys, and they tied me up and put me in jail, and I would break out, and then they'd both tackle me and put me back into jail. And I played with a little baby in Iowa. Chelsea's younger sister has a newborn.
Well, it's good to play with kids when they're not yours, because you know it's a 5 or 10 minute thing, and then you don't have to worry about them after that, right?
Right. Like
it's not like you have to keep them alive. You don't have to feed them. You don't have to worry about their mental health or anything like that. You just get to have fun with them, and like, hey, by the way, I gave him a candy bar. Goodbye. I'm going home for the night. Good luck with that.
Perfect. Like I am a parent's best friend. Like they'll tag me in for 30 minutes to 2 hours. You can go off and remember that you're a human. You come back and retrieve your child.
Yeah.
And then I have fulfilled my like child playing duties.
I got twin nephews, and I love those kids. I don't see them a lot. I see them like twice a year. But I'll say this, I can only handle one at a time. I can't be with them both at the same time because I get overwhelmed, because they're so, they're toddlers. They're like 4 at this point.
They need
they're
immediate
psychotic.
attention. You have to just...
Yeah, but I get stressed out because I'm like, if one runs into another room and I got the other in this room, like, how do I know that the other one's in the other room, not, plugging tinfoil into the frickin' circuit?
That's exactly what he's doing.
I can't let, and I don't think I've ever been alone with those sons of bitches more than frickin' for 5 minutes. But my sister goes up to go take a dump or something, and I'm alone with my nephews, and I start freaking out when one of them goes out of eyesight, because I'm like, this kid's probably trying to do something to kill himself right now.
Yeah, it's exactly how I feel. So
Yeah. But again, my nephews, I never gave a shit about them when they were babies. Like my sister, like, you want to hold your nephew? I'm like, sure. And it was just a glob of shit that I was holding. Like, oh, cool. It's a baby. But then when they got to the age when they could start throwing balls, I'm like, these are pretty cool dudes. I like these guys. They're my kind of kids, right? They can throw a ball.
Yeah, that's right. Like if they're about 3 or 4 and they're just able to catch it and throw it back to you, and they might drop a few, you're like, yeah.
And my oldest nephew, he's I think he just turned 10, so he's at that age where he can crack a ball, man. And I don't have to worry about the speed I'm throwing a ball. He's gonna catch it. I don't have to worry about hurting him. So that's real fun.
This is actually pretty cute too. So at 10th Planet, the place I do jiu-jitsu, before the wrestling class, they have a 9 a.m. like mommy, daddy, infant like mat time class where basically they just get the little child to run at them and tackle them and like practice doing those kind of things. And I thought that's pretty fun.
I'm showing my friends Mike and Jill the studio here while I'm actually working right now. And by the way, Georgia, we're 10 minutes over airtime, and I'm going to tell Dan I want at least $2,000 more.
That's fine.
In my bank account tonight for working fine. 10 minutes over our allotted time.
The nice thing I have to say about you, Jack, is I'm sure you are an amazing uncle.
Well, I show up twice a year. And then, it's usually for like Thanksgiving or Christmas, so I eat and fall asleep on the couch.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. You know what my nephews pulled on me the other day, these fucking bastards? These sons of bitches asked me, where's Taco, right? And they're like, bring Taco back. Because, Taco used to be my sister's dog.
Right.
And they're like, bring Taco back. They didn't have one nice thing to say about me in conversation. All they want to do, they were demanding that I send Taco back.
You're Taco's keeper.
And I don't think they understand I need Taco a lot more than they do. They got each other, and they got their mother, my sister, and their dad, my brother-in-law. Taco's all I got.
Jack, do you understand how hilarious this is, though? Like, you should write some of this down.
What?
Just like that whole, like...
How sad I am with... By the way, where is my dog right now?
He's to your left. Laying down, probably around the drink machines. I saw him moving.
Oh, okay.
Right. Taco! Oh, no, he's down in the middle, right here.
Okay.
He's on the grass.
Is he laying in front of the studio here?
Yeah, he's on the grass.
Oh, my baby boy. Can I... Where is that?
Just right in front. Look down. Look over.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, look at Taco. Hey, Mike and Jill, look at Taco right there. He's just chilling. He's in the studio. All right, man. Georgia, I think we should cut this show short because we're 10 minutes over, so it's not short.
Well, thank you to all the callers. My loss is your gain. Hope you have a good time with Jack being on the main channel. Maybe we'll just keep it here. Thank you all for calling in. I am Papa G. Look forward to my fight against Dakota.
Of the 5 shows we've done on the main channel, this has got to be one of the top 5 worst shows we've done.
Well, all of them would be if there would be 5 total, Jack, but I think that's how math works. I had a great time tonight.
Okay, I did too. This was a good show.
Yeah, I enjoyed. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, gals, good day. Love y'all.